Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. My name is Angie Brady. I'm the director of the city's Office of the Waterfront and Civic Projects. We're incredibly excited to be here today to celebrate the completion of our Pioneer Square project as part of our efforts to provide improvements to critical east-west connections between the city's beautiful new 20-acre Waterfront Park and our important downtown neighborhoods. Just this year in January, we were standing a block away celebrating the start of construction of this project, and it has been amazing to see the transformation that has taken place in just 10 months. Today we'll hear remarks from Mayor Harrell, Lisa Howard from the Alliance for Pioneer Square, and Trevor Boone, owner of Emerald City Guitars, located right here on this street. This project has made improvements to South King, South Main, South Washington Streets, and Yesler Way, all of which support a more accessible, safe, and vibrant pedestrian experience in our precious historic district right here in Pioneer Square. A few highlights of the transportation improvements that you can now experience are we've reduced the number of vehicle lanes, allowing us to create wider sidewalk spaces for those walking and rolling. We've installed more than 150 bollards that protect 4 new blocks of curbless streets. And my hands are frozen solid. We've built 10 raised crosswalks, which create more comfortable experience for walking pedestrians. We've added bike racks to support visitors that want to take a break and explore the businesses in this neighborhood. We've added more than 13,000 square feet of new landscaped areas as part of this project, providing for a much greener neighborhood. We've also shifted vehicles away from the vulnerable underground historic areaways along these key east-west corridors as well. Additional urban design improvements include storytelling elements that encourage visitors to reflect on the city's history. Thanks to the collaboration with the Muckleshoot Indian tribe and the Suquamish tribe, we've incorporated native plants and added illustrated interpretive panels, as well as ground-level etchings depicting their uses by Indigenous peoples from the area. Right behind you, you can see what we call the Shoreline Alley, a 2-tone paving installation that represents the inland location of the historic Elliott Bay shoreline from the mid to late 19th century. On either side of us here are wooden piers that have been carefully and intentionally charred, reminiscent of the Great Seattle Fire that occurred here in 1889. Our improvements in Pioneer Square allow for much improved access to the new 20-acre waterfront park, still under construction, set to open next year, next spring, so get excited for that. Nearby features include behind us the Pioneer Square Habitat Beach, which we opened in June 2023, has become a popular spot for Seattleites who desire a quiet space away from the busy downtown. And the beautifully restored historic Washington Street boat landing, which you can also see behind me, which will host Molly Moon's ice cream and is anticipated to open in spring of 2025. Super excited about that. I want to extend my thanks to our community members, the sounding board, and our neighbors for really championing this project and for their patience during the impactful construction this year. I know it's been hard, but we hope you enjoy the improvements that you helped us envision in this neighborhood. You've been working with us since day one on this project, and we're so grateful for your time and your energy. I'd like to thank the Alliance for Pioneer Square, who have partnered with us and supported this community throughout the design and construction process. These improvements enable the neighborhood to thrive for generations to come, and I personally value Lisa Howard and Jessa Timmer's time and positive energy and patience with us so much as we navigated through some really tough challenges together over all these years of design and construction. I want to thank our entire Waterfront Seattle team, especially our project manager, Therese Casper. Yay! Our construction program manager, Jessica Murphy, who is here today as well. Our H&TB Jacobs JV construction management team, including Bo McGee and Brian Kittleson. You guys have worked tremendously hard on this project. Our outreach leads, Jeanette Baker and Iris Pickett from Enviro Issues, thank you. Our lead design team at MIG SVR and Petite, and our prime contractor, Gary Merlino Construction, who have executed our design vision beautifully. Thank you so much. In conclusion, thanks you guys. We're thrilled to have completed another one of many many Waterfront Seattle projects, and we are very much appreciative of those of you who came today to help celebrate this occasion with us. I'd now like to introduce Mayor Bruce Harrell to come up and say a few words, so thank you.
Thank you, Angela. I want to level set a little bit by saying you all look really cold. So I'll be brief. This is exciting, and we're really excited about the ribbon cutting. And I first want to thank the voters of Seattle for passing our Seattle Transportation Levy. Many of you are out there with us cheering it along, so we want to thank you for that. I want to thank Deputy Mayor Adi Memory and Director Greg Spots and the king of potholes. There's no potholes here, Rob Saka. He's searching for it in this curbless environment. If I could ground us in a quote, as I sometimes like to do, public space is a very important aspect of a good and well-functioning city. That's our North Star right there, to make sure we are functioning. And when you look at this pedestrian-friendly, curbless environment, what we're trying to do is create the space that we all could be proud of, one project at a time with a North Star of a vision, and this is our vision. And so I want to thank you for all of the work. Angela did an outstanding job of thanking all of you for being here, but to brave out in this weather like this, it is truly a commitment to what we've been going through when we first announced this some time ago. So we're celebrating a new, vibrant, and accessible pedestrian connection between our historic Pioneer Square neighborhood. Lisa, thank you for letting us in your home, our waterfront, and our broader downtown. That kind of connectivity is what these projects are all about. Yesterday's construction site, well, yes, we get complaints, and many of these are valid complaints when they affect small businesses and cause choke points in traffic and transit complications. We understand that. But yesterday's construction site has become today's pedestrian pathways and a new open green space that enable us to walk and bike and roll between the waterfront, Pioneer Square, and again, the rest of downtown. We gathered here, as you may recall, in January of 2024. It was a cold day like it is today. And we celebrated the groundbreaking, and we talked about the vision that we had to reimagine public space that we all could use. As our city continues to grow and projects like Pioneer Square, East-West pedestrian improvements, they not only fuel our vision of seamless connections between our waterfront and downtown neighborhoods, but again, they honor our past and what we think is very special. That's why Pioneer Square holds a special place in all of our hearts. This project, again, creates a curbless environment that is more comfortable for people walking throughout Pioneer Square. And we've added more than 13,000 square feet of new green space to the neighborhood, creating a more inviting environment for pedestrians and residents and workers and visitors. You may recall that Valerie Segrest, who represented the Muckleshoot tribe at the time we were talking about this project in January, I want to say a quote that she said that really resonated with us. When we get to know our place, where we are in this world, we have a better sense of connection to the land and a better respect for it. The critical word there is respect. Respect for one another, respect for our space. So I want to thank our tribal partners for their collaboration in this improvement project and their influence in our broader Waterfront Park transformation. I know this evening we're going to have another celebration on the work that we're doing for our waterfront, and again, these kinds of projects like these are very special because they pull it all together. Pioneer Square is not just a great Seattle neighborhood, but it's an essential, valued space here in our downtown core. So I'm going to welcome, I think, a person that I've just thoroughly enjoyed working with for the last several years, even before I was mayor, Lisa Howard, who again is just quite honestly rolling up her sleeves and putting in the hard work. Her pride in this particular part of our city demonstrates itself every single day she goes to work with the passion that she does. So I introduce to you Lisa Howard, the Executive Director of the Alliance for Pioneer Square.
Thank you so much. Good morning and welcome to Pioneer Square. As the mayor said, I'm Lisa Howard, the Executive Director, and I'm thrilled to be here today celebrating this milestone with all of you. The last few years have brought a number of challenges, and today we meet celebrating an accomplishment that's a long time coming. Earlier this week, I was looking back at some of the project documents from the kickoff, and I'm so happy to see so many faces that were involved in the very beginning. I think it speaks to the tenacity of Pioneer Square and what we can accomplish all together. And the new faces that have joined along the way, we look forward to stepping into the next chapter of our history. This project has signaled not just a prioritization of pedestrians and the reconnection to our waterfront, but also the willingness to invest in the infrastructure and the future of Pioneer Square. A big thank you to the mayor and his teams, especially the Office of the Waterfront that has worked through issues big and small for so many years now. Thank you to the stakeholders engaged along the way, especially the steering committee members and the current Alliance team. Raise your hand if you're out there. As well as previous members of the team, including Leslie Smith and Liz Stenning. And to our neighborhood stakeholders, we look forward to showing off our beautiful neighborhood together far into the future. After we're done here, please join us for a community celebration for coffee and pastries at the newly opened Baba Yaga on South Washington and Occidental Avenue South down the street. I hope to see you there. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to our Emerald City Guitars owner, Trevor Boone.
Thank you, Lisa. Wow, it's cold. I almost didn't show up until Bruce said he'd clear my last 5 years of parking tickets. So we've been here 30 years. I was 6 years old when I started coming down here. It feels like my cul-de-sac, literally, and so many familiar faces. Frank Buchanan, Lisa Howard, of course. We fully integrated ourselves in this neighborhood from day one. My dad did food drives with the Union Gospel Mission, still holds meetings for recovering addicts, alcoholics in the building of Emerald City Guitars, and we've done everything we can. We love this area. When I visit a city, I don't go to the convention center. I go to places like this to really kind of feel the identity, and we've seen it all, the good, bad, the ugly, and the construction projects and all that. And this was something that, I remained optimistic, I think thanks to Lisa. And man, it's just everything from ground level up has been so swift, and there's just so much harmony from the construction level to the people involved, to the time that it's all happened. And this is a special area. I mean, like I said, this is the kind of place that you want to visit when you see a city. And this has always been kind of the Sesame Street vibe, knowing the neighbors, the patrons, the residents. And for a long time, I think we felt like we didn't have a voice as the city started growing. These special places, these unique little shops and tenants and all that. And this project is kind of like making your bed in the morning, It was respecting and respectful, and everybody took pride in it, I felt like, and really kind of, it was every step of the way, like I said, from the time to the people involved, down to the construction guys, and they became kind of part of the whole, fabric down here. And it's a unique ecosystem, and it's really a special place for that matter. And I just want to thank everyone up here. Bruce, I've gone and seen you speak at a few different things here, and I just feel like you really got a grip on kind of everybody's hearts down here. So it's definitely worth celebrating. This is a special area. We're happy to be here. I'm going to wrap it up, and thank you guys for showing up.
Now you could tell Trevor's a talented musician and entertainer. I didn't even know you could make the mic sing like that, Trevor. Thank you very much for your leadership in this area and your pay. We're going to cut a ribbon right now, I believe. Is that the protocol right now? We're going to do that? All right, come on up here and let's cut a ribbon. Thank you, Trevor. That was great.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good morning, Mayor.
Hey.
I love those comments.
Where's Tim?
Right here. All right.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Ready, boss? You got to milk it out a little bit, Trevor. You don't just cut right away. All right, we milk it out. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Oh, yeah!